So good evening, everybody. So we're going to be doing two issues today, issue 93 and issue 94. And to help me tonight, I have three wonderful guests. In no particular order, we will have Adrian first.
Thank you, Penny. Good
How are
evening,
you?
all. I'm fine, thank you.
Right, so our second guest, pick a number, Adrian, 1 or 2?
2.
2. That'll be Fleetwood then.
How are you? Not so bad. Getting there. Feeling a bit better now, if you know what I mean.
Okay. And I want to avoid using the word last because it suggests that inferior, but it's far from inferior. We have Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening and welcome.
Sorry, I've just been reading some of the comments. I'll do a catch up before we start.
Okay.
So we have Andy M, who is the first Gold Star winner tonight. He's off to bed with man flu. Hope you all have a good build. We've got P40F20. We've got Peter Whitlock. Love Minis. Love Minis is entertaining us with some of her comedy. I like this one. Employee of the Month is a good example of how somebody can be both a winner and a loser at the same time. I have the world's largest collection of seashells. You may have seen it. I keep it scattered on beaches all over. And then we've got Stephen Owen says, good evening. And Love Minis. I want to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather, not screaming and yelling like the passengers on his bus. So we've got P40F20, Love Minis, Love Minis. When life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic. And then I had to think about that one for a minute. So we've got Love Minis, Love Minis. Roger Kendall, Stuart Sullivan, how are you? Peter Whitlock and A. Thomas. Have I seen A. Thomas before? I don't recall seeing your name before. Right, so today, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to rush tonight. You know I never, ever rush. But I do have a train to catch at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I don't want to be hanging around till like 3 in the morning or whatever time we normally finish. So I want to crack on with the build tonight. But we've got Chris Davies as well. Hi, Chris Davies. But obviously, like I say, I will never rush the show. Now, I forgot to check pre-show. Do we have a copy of the magazine?
Yeah, I've got a copy.
Lovely. So we're going to be doing pretty much the same as we've been doing in three previous issues. So David Bassett is off to doggy training with Pepsi. Hope everything goes well today, David. And I'm going to get into the habit of doing this, even though we don't need to before the 1st of January. If you turn to page 2 of your magazine, it does say not suitable for children under the age of 14. This product is not a toy and is not designed for use in play. Keep the parts out of reach of small children. Some parts may have sharp edges. Please handle them with care. So in other words, according to the manufacturer and publisher, this is not suitable for people under 13. So hello, Chris Campling. So we have got pretty much the same as at 91, I think, isn't it? Which is the first part of 2 parts of framework. So what we will probably end up with, I suspect, is this, but flipped over on the other side. So we'll end up like this, I think. And then the second stage of doing this will be to put the rear panel in, I guess. But that will come in an issue that even the subscribers haven't received yet. So, right, there's a video on YouTube that the disclaimer may not be enough. Yeah, this is something that we are going to look. We're looking. I think we're all researching it. But what we're going to do is, let let's discuss it after the build, because I think there's a huge debate with many different angles. So I have lost my knife. I am very upset at that. So I am having to resort to using my scissors, which, guess what, are not here. Trying to think where I was when I last used them.
Disappeared scissors. I want to do a bit of a sound check, if that's all right. Can everybody hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I not? I don't want to be echoing like I was last week, and I want to be nice and clear and precise if I can. So can everybody hear me all right? Am I echoing? Is it okay?
Yeah, fine, mate.
It sounds good to me.
Yeah.
We're now also joined by Caldecott Bus Spotters. So hello, Caldecott. How are?
Stuart Sullivan says all good, Dave. Okay, thank you, Stuart. And I take it you can hear everybody else all right. And I think Penny's sound's gone again. Yeah, Penny's sound's gone again.
They're talking over me, and I'm going, they're talking over me. Oh, maybe the sound's gone.
Sparkle's got to be out.
Funny,
mate.
actually, I saw something about this. This is all sealed in its own little box with a little lid, except for the bags of screws and the handles and the bars. And I seem to remember seeing a Facebook post about that, and I thought, you know, it wouldn't actually have taken much to chuck these in with the metal bits.
Yeah.
Look, could have gone in there quite nicely. So that is a criticism. So guys, if you don't mind, we've pretty much seen these bits before. So if I just show them on camera, would that be all right for everybody?
Yeah, would be for me. But
The actual. So what I'm going to do is change my view to this, and then I will change my camera.
I was going to say you're a bit fuzzy to me.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
I'm a bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
I might be on set focus. Someone's having a banging old time down there. How's that? That's about all right, isn't it? Right, so these are the parts for the week. Do you want to go through them, Dave?
Yeah, can do, yeah. Well, this week we've got the framework and the windows for the upper deck. We start to assemble and fit the framework and windows for the right-hand side of the upper deck. And so we've got parts of 93A, which is the right wall framework.
I seem to be losing you a bit, Dave. You're doing that. Who was that guy that used to do the microphone that cuts out?
Norman Wisdom. No, Norman Collier.
Yeah, but used to do it on purpose. That's what you sound like.
Yeah, well, Norman Collier used to live near me.
Did he?
Yeah, he used to go, I put a microphone working. We used to do it really good.
He does it almost as well as you did it, Dave.
Did he? Yeah, Norman Collier. So this is
93A. This is solid metal, nicely painted. Very happy with that. Oh,
well, that's 93A. So. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. So
Hello.
that's 93A. So we've got 93B, the right wall framework.
And that's this piece, which again is metal.
Yeah. Lovely. Don't you just love that red paint?
I think Adrian's doing some building as well. I can just see him up in the top corner.
Oh, jolly good.
Yes.
jolly good. Right, so we've got 93C, which is the window bar times 2. The silver window bars times 2.
Yes.
And these are
92.
plastic.
Yeah, okay. And we've still got issues with the camera, Penny. P40F20 and Chris Camplin have both said that it's fuzzy and jerky, Penny.
Yeah, now I don't know what my sound is like to you, but you're a little bit cutty outy, so I don't know if that's me or you.
To me,
But is my sound okay?
yeah, your sound's okay, but it's just your picture seems a bit fuzzy tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
So let me do a
I
quick.
don't know if don't think it's the camera. I think it might be just your internet.
Yeah, bear with me a sec. I'll just hit
the camera.
Yeah, I can see it on YouTube. It doesn't look so good, does it? In fact, if anything, I'm frozen.
Well, you're moving to us, but you could be frozen on you. Let me have a look.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
I'm actually looking at this on YouTube. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's about a 10-second lag, and the quality is actually quite poor.
Yeah.
I mean, on my monitor, I look crystal clear. So that's a little bit worrying, that is. I don't know if there's any options I can change. Probably will make it worse, but what's it like now, guys? I'm on high definition, and I'll change the definition to lower if later on.
Shows a part then, Penny. Shows something in your hand.
Let's show something a little bit awkward, like a packet of DP screws.
That's not too bad.
That's a bit better.
Yeah, so I want to see what it's like on YouTube as well, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
You know what? Actually, on YouTube, it's readable. It's a little bit fuzzy, but it is readable.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that, guys. But no, I thought maybe HD would make it a little bit worse because it's going to push the computer a little bit harder. Right, so I'm going to go with that then, guys, because at least it's, you can see what it is, even if it is a bit fuzzy around the edges.
Okay, so 93C was the 2 window bars.
Yeah.
So 93D is the winder times 2.
Oh, hang on.
2 winders.
Right, so these are what they mean by a winder. But I got to admit, where I come from, that's what that part is there. And it's pronounced winder.
Yeah.
You get it? Winder?
Yeah, winder.
Yeah.
It gets
Winder.
windier and winder.
That's actually how I first read it, look.
So 93E is...
You liked that, didn't you?
93E is window frame times 2.
Okay, so that's these two.
Yeah,
and
the
we've
2
got
red
threaded tabs to cut off, haven't we?
Yeah.
Not too awful if you take your time with them, but I would rather they weren't there.
And 93F is the sliding window pane times 2.
So a sliding window pane. So again, we've got those dreaded tabs, and we've got some silver bits on the top or bottom. I can't remember which. We'll wait till we get to the instructions.
Okay.
And plain bit at the bottom. And that should leave us with...
Well, we've got 93G, a window pane times 2. That's the oblong
that will be
one.
these two there, and I'm not happy with that. Oh, actually, that's not... I thought that was sellotape. But it's actually a piece of just a piece of plastic. It's actually stuck down with static. So I was going to say I'm not happy with that because it's going to leave residue, but it's actually it's about as strong as cling film.
And then 93H is a window pane, an oblong one with a triangle.
One painful window.
And Adrian's got the same, haven't you, Adrian? And then
Yes,
you've
I
got
have.
screws of OP, that's OP, times 10.
Times a lot.
Times 10, yes.
10 in there.
That looks like about 10 in there.
Yeah, I did actually genuinely count mine properly.
And DP of 5.
5.
And EM of 5. EM of 5.
Okay, I'll make that
Yep.
5.
And
I've been watching a lot of Korean and Japanese making videos, and they do this a lot.
oh yeah,
Every time they show you, they go, "You here's the bib part," and they always do that.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I think it's to show you maybe thicknesses, but I find it quite annoying because
Could be, yeah.
if you ever watch any on how to make so and so with lots of Japanese letters, they're always moving it.
And then last of all tonight we've got Radio Routemaster FM times 3.
Brought to you by your host, DJ Dave. DJ Dave and the Fresh Crew.
Yeah.
Right. So, are we ignoring the OP screws again?
Well, that's entirely up to you, Penny. But what I would suggest is that you take things very, very carefully with them OP. Has anybody else had any issues with the OPs? Peter Whitlock says just hope that the OPs are the right size.
Yeah.
Nice.
The worry that I have is, by all means, when I put the windows in, I could use OPs and I could have a millimetre sticking out. Will that window then fit? And also, if the screws are a millimetre out, could we actually push the window and push it back a millimetre? So,
would the plastic backing, the inside of the bus, would it fit nice and tight to the back of the windows? That is the question we have to look at.
That is the question.
Yes. So, do you want to start on section 1 then?
Okay, so section 1.
Chris Camplin, old age pensioners. I don't know where you. Oh yeah, OPs. Yeah, of course, old age pensioners.
Right. So, do you want to read the instructions out?
Yeah, if you're ready. Section 1 then, and I think Adrian's building along with us. Section 1 is fit the window pane 93H to the inside of the right wall framework. 93A fix in place with 4 EM screws.
Right. Okay, so the reason I couldn't find the window that fits was because I had the wrong part and the wrong window. So we actually want this little, what do you call a four-sided figure that isn't equal on all sides?
An
Square.
Equal lateral.
A quadrilateral.
Something like that, yeah.
Quadrilateral. It's not a square, guys, because this angle is different from this angle. So this will go on.
School, then.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, we will teach you stuff here whether you want to or not. So we have the shaped window, and I'm just placing it onto the screw holes, and I'm just checking I forget what they're called now, but P40 did teach us last week. But the punch marks, and we need EM screws times 4, so that will pretty much be all of them, bar the one spare, because there's only 5 in a packet.
Yeah.
So we find the screwdriver bit that works for that, which is sadly not that one.
My memory is about as good as yours, Penny, because I can't remember what P40 F20 called them neither.
No, it was something fairly posh. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to pop the first one in. Because we're dealing with perspex, you will see no wow sticks here. So any screw hole for the first one, trapezoid, I don't know. You've really got me. You've shown me up now. You know when you pretend to be a bit smart, but the other person is actually 10 times smarter than you. And instead of looking smart, you've now made yourself look dumb. Right, this one, be careful, because if it's anything like mine, it doesn't want to go in. So I'm just going to put the screw in without the window just to check the hole is working.
And I'm just doing a person check at the moment. We've got 34 people watching at the moment. I make it. So thank you to those 34 people that are watching.
Very good figures. I mean, given that this is Christmas shopping season, you know, obviously people are out Christmas shopping. Ah, that's better. This is one of those.
Oh no, Penny, you've locked up and your sound's gone.
Frozen.
Penny's frozen up for the moment, so we're going to have
to. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Am I back? Am I sounding back as well?
Yeah, your sound's back, yeah.
Well, I did actually do my reboot before the stream, so my computer's is, I think it must be my broadband. Or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Stuart Sullivan, ejector pin marks.
Right, so I've got the screws in, just just enough to grab, and then I'm going to carefully carry them in, and if they get a bit stiff, I just do the backwards motion, forwards and backwards. Now that is resisting a little bit more, so I'll stop there.
Yeah, P40 F20 says good idea to pre-tap the screw holes and use oil.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the oil, and I have less excuse than normal because here is my oil right in front of me within arm's reach. So but you know, we can manage without. It's just a bit easier with oil.
And Stuart Sullivan also said ejector pin marks. That's what you was the words you was looking for, of the marks on the windows. Ejector pin marks, is that correct?
The pin marks,
yes, that would be correct. Yes.
That's it. Right, so I feel a little tiny bit of looseness there, but not a lot.
You managing okay, Adrian?
Yes.
Can't help thinking I've got a bit of scratches on there, but I'm not going to bother cleaning them up yet because as soon as I put them in, they'll need cleaning up again. So
could be a hair. Is it a hair?
I have the body of a god. It's shame it's Buddha. Okay, so I'm ready whenever you are, Adrian.
Yeah, I'm up to you.
Yeah, okay, right. Section 2 then. Section 2 is cut away the moldings that were used in manufacture of the sliding window panels 93F and the window frames 93E. smooth any rough edges. Try to avoid getting marks on the windows when you fit them.
Okay, so the tools I'm using some flat nose pliers. I'm sorry to say this the third time. Flat nose cutters, sorry, not pliers, and a file. You can use a finer file, but these edges aren't going to be seen, so it doesn't matter that much. So first thing I'm going to do is just cut that little tiny bit of tab away. That just makes it a bit easier to deal with, and then I'll just, using the flat bit away from the edge, we'll just cut to about halfway, as far back as you can, and then finish it off on the other side. This is just to minimize cracking. So now we've got the big bit cut away, we can now come in a little bit closer and go as close as you dare. I'm going to call it a day there with the clippers, and then we'll just finish that off with a file. So a bit of sandpaper, equally good. I just like these little files because I just think they're brilliant. There's so many uses for them. Okay, so I've just seen a message that Horlicks has sent to Dave. So that should be okay. I'm just a bit worried about going too much into this because obviously this is the silver side of the window. So I'll do this in sort of fast motion. Yeah, I think I might be having a problem with my internet. Peter Whitlock is saying I keep buffering. So if I do this 3 times, then if you piece together all the buffers, then maybe you'll get one instruction. So cut the tab off, and then
the buffers.
with the flat bit away from the piece that you want to finish with, we're going to, as far away as we can, we're going to just cut halfway through, and then halfway through on the other side. There we go. I don't know if you noticed, but that tab actually bent. If I'd have cut it right close, it may actually have pulled and actually split into the window. That's why I cut further away.
Yeah.
So now I can go with the flat side in. We just trim. We go as close as we dare. If you can get this, I've used some cutters in the past where they're so good and they go so close, you actually don't need any filing. And that's lovely, you know, but if you need to file, so tab halfway through it. Oh, that just fell off. I just touched it and it fell off. So, so our parts are doing the work. Well, I always say make the parts work for you, not you work for the parts, and that one certainly did.
Peter Whitlock says you're keep freezing, Penny, as if your internet is buffering.
All I can really do with that one is just keep going because I can't really do much about the freezing.
Have you got anything else running on your internet?
No, I've done a complete reboot before the stream, and all I've got running is Google Chrome, and it's 400 open tabs. Really good tip. Must get some cutters. It's a bit hit and miss. Yeah, it is. You can cut them with a knife, but again, that's hit and miss. A knife is more for trimming and sticking through your thumb, which I've done many times. The knife that I use is actually a surgical blade, and it will cut through. But yeah, these are a lot safer. But yeah, if you want to cut, like if this was like this and you wanted to cut this bit off, a lot of people are tempted to go straight in there, and many a times it's split and gone through the part. So I much rather cut it in stages. So yeah, that's that bit done then. So stage 3.
So are you done, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay. Stage 3 is fit the sliding window pane 93F into the window frame 93E so that ridges at the ends of part 93F fit into the grooves for the frames 93E. So keeping, of course, the silver part at the top, and that I've added that because obviously the silver part of the frame is at the top.
Yes.
Yeah. So the silver definitely goes at the top, does it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I noticed that this week it doesn't actually say so, and I believe in the previous 2 issues it did specifically say the silver bit goes at the top or the bottom.
Well,
But
we
this-
have done the silver bit at the top.
Right.
They probably not have said it because people might think, right, yes, it's.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you-
it may just assume that you've read previous magazines and you've remembered it.
Yeah. If you look at the window frame, Penny,
Yeah.
that you have in front of you, the red window frame, it's actually called a window pane. And in that window pane, there at the bottom, there is, as it goes round to the bottom of the window pane, it's rounded. The corners are rounded on the inside, aren't they?
Right.
Okay.
And that's where that metal strip would be. Yeah. Okay, so these windows, they've got a groove down each end. Now, they've only got a groove that side, but not on that side. And that will correspond with this little runner there. It only goes about 2/3 of the way down the window. So find your groove with a nail or something. And then once you found that groove, place it downwards with the silver strip at the top. And that will go in like so. And I think these windows will stay in. My windows last week, they slid. Oh, that is misshaped. Don't know if you can see that. See if I can.
Misshaped window.
Can you see that's concave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it there, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You look at the way the light hits it. Let's see if I can find some light. Can you see the light doesn't hit it straight?
Yeah.
So I will continue with this window, but if it causes a problem, I will contact Hachette and say I've got a bent window. Can I have another one? So I've just
Mine's
noticed a
bent as
little
well.
bit. Is it? Do you think maybe it's meant
Yes.
to?
Yours is bent as
Maybe-
well, is it?
Maybe
Adrian?
I should draw cracks
Yeah.
on all the windows and then say, oh, it's been around Newport.
As long as you say Newport Wales and not Newport East Yorkshire, that's all right.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Penny,
you've got a
can
Newport.
I be enlarged for a moment? Can
Is
I
your
be enlarged for
Newport a
moment,
nice,
Penny?
respectable area then?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I can really feel that.
Well,
But
you also
once
got
I
Newport in Shropshire, haven't you, as well?
can
what's
you?
that, sorry?
I say you got Newport in Shropshire as well, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I know
Yeah.
there's 2 train stations for Newport because when I put in because I had a bit of a shock once. I booked a train ticket and it cost about £200 more than it usually does, and I'm like, that's not right. And I realised I booked it from Isle of Wight.
Penny, can you enlarge Adrian, please, so he can show us his windows?
Yeah, bear with me.
There
So
we go.
Peter Whitlock is saying a
Right.
concave is
I've-
where you get ripped off underground. Yeah.
I put mine against the edge, and as you can see, that bit end is sort of like sticking up a bit.
So this must be a common fault then.
I put it on the table. I can press down one end, the other end lifts up. If I had a piece of paper, I could just slide it underneath there and show it. Look.
Yeah. Because I also
There we go, a piece of
noticed
paper.
that,
I can just slide it underneath there.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's just this little bit there. It's like the middle was rested on a radiator and it's just bent it.
Do you think it'll be okay when it goes in the frame?
Yeah, it could be. Well, the grooves might pull it straight. We won't know until we fix it in.
Yeah. For me, it's a case of can you see it from outside, and you might be able to. If you know, I'll build. I mean, quite often I've had bits where I thought, well, that's not quite right, but by the time we built it, it's kind of fixed itself. I just want to address this comment. Roger Thompson says he's been trying to pay his monthly bill for November, but having trouble contacting Hachette. I think the only thing you can do is persevere. I think everyone's having trouble contacting Hachette. I did speak to someone last week, and they actually said to me, "Oh, that's an old subscription, isn't it?" And I went, "No." I said, "There's still another 30 odd issues to go." She went, "Oh." So, yeah, it is becoming trickier to contact them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would understand if issue 130 being out and it's being sold. Yes, then it's an old part work. Not when we got
Well, the
30
thing
odd
is,
issues to
they're not investing anything into getting new subscribers because they're no longer accepting subscribers from issue 1, which means all they got to do is fight to keep the subscribers they've got. So obviously, the more subscribers they've got now, the more issue 130s they sell. But most of us are in the position now where we've got such a fantastic model, but it, as a complete model, it looks awful. So we can't stop now because we've wasted nearly 800 quid. Is that what we spent on this so far?
Yeah, it's getting that way.
I'm sure someone will get a calculator out. I bet I'm not much out, am I?
No.
So,
No.
right, okay. Well, I'll see how I get on with this window then. So it doesn't seem to specify whether we're doing 1 or 2. So I've done 1, and then I'll just pop 1 to one side. So I'll pop
in section 4, which we're ready for now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Section 4 says fit the window frame 93E with the sliding window pane 93F on the outside of the right wall framework 93A, fixed in place from the inside of the framework with 2 DP screws.
Right. So we want to keep the window where it is and then just bring this window in. You'll see that it's got a shaped recess, and that will just go over there. Little bit of a tip for you. Find something, because this is curved at the front, maybe just get something small just to prop underneath it, just so it doesn't wobble so much.
Yeah.
And just find the place where it works best, and that's the place for me. So it's mainly this corner. So when I work on it, it's not going to wobble. Right, so DP screws. So, and we've only got 5 of those, and we're going to use 2 of them in this stage. So I suspect we'll use another 2 in the next when we put the next window in. So I know for a fact I'm changing screwdriver heads.
P40F20 says check to see if the frame has matching bend.
has matching bends. Good point. Very good point. Because in theory, the answer would be yes. So. Right, so that's the one that we've already completed. And that's the one we've got this week. And I would say yes. Does that look good to you, Dave?
I think you meant with the bend on the window.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the bit in front. Sorry. In that case, your answer is no. They most definitely do not have the same bends. So,
if one was slightly meant to be bent, surely they would have one being a slightly different letter.
Well, if one was meant to be different, they would have different numbers, wouldn't they?
You would have thought so, yeah.
Because how many times have we had two parts that are the same or looks the same, but they've got different part numbers, and it turns out they're very slightly different. So that's okay, because I'll say if I'm not happy, I will contact Hachette, or I'll just give my part back to the newsagents. Sometimes I've got a big advantage using the newsagents as well, because I can choose where to send my part back.
Yeah.
Newsagents tends to be slightly slower, but they do. But if you can't get through to Hachette, it's quicker, isn't it, to use the newsagents? So right, so that's in just enough to bite. And
we've got some conflicting amounts of between oh, you're right.
Sorry, Dave, I'm really struggling with you. So I don't know if it's you or my broadband, but you are breaking up. So all I heard was conflicting amounts.
Yeah, we've got conflicting amounts of how much it's cost so far, and that is £845.46 or £825.07.
Well, this is issue 93, so that's 91 issues at £8.99, one issue at £5.99, and one at £1.99. So I just did rough maths in my head, which was almost 100 issues at almost £9 an issue. So it should be somewhere less than £900. Right, this window has gone in rather stiff. So I'm going to have this one partly open, but not all the way, because I want all my windows to be open different amounts.
Yeah.
So, right, that one I'm happy with. Okay. So the next stage is
Adrian, have you caught up?
Yes.
Okay, the next stage is stage 5, and it's fit the window pane 93G into the inside of the right wall framework 93A, fixed in place with 4 OP screws, which are fixed through the window into the frame 93E.
Can Sparkles say a quick hello?
okay. So
Penny Sparkles
from experience,
Penny.
Oh, we have Sparkles, who is of course the Facebook picture of the month. She is the first pin-up that we've had.
The Routemaster mascot. There she is. Say hello to everybody. She's in one of these moods where she wants just Sean, not me tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. Say hello.
Are you feeling dejected and unwanted?
Nah, she's fine. She's very aloof with me, if you know what I mean.
You're not bad, are you? Are you?
Yeah, she wants mum.
What? Say hello to everybody. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
look at cute, eh?
Who's
Yeah.
Bigger?
All their scars healed up now. You wouldn't notice where it is now. Do you know what I mean?
Jolly
Fantastic.
that? Don't show everyone your bum.
I'm sure everyone wants to see a hamster butt.
I'm sure Sparkles is getting bigger.
Are you talking?
Is this is going to sound like a very inappropriate question. Has she been snipped?
No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can do.
Is she in season then?
They come into season every 10 days.
Is she in season? Yeah. Her back end looks a little bit swollen, which from memory means she's in season.
She could be. I mean,
if it's not, maybe that's why she's gone off you, Fleetwood, because she knows you're no good to her.
Yeah.
In her opinion, she wants a real man.
I think Sean's thinking the same thing as well.
Yes.
I'm not as cute and cuddly as a hamster, you see. You know what I mean? So.
Right. So while we've been admiring Sparkles, I've also been looking at the comments. And Andy M, who I thought was in bed with man flu, says that he's used the OP screws because you've got to get through the window. So I will try the OP screws, but I will go no further than I dare. So are we ready to risk it?
Well, in this week's issue, Penny, the OP screws are mentioned in the text and in the illustrations.
Right.
Whereas last week's issue, there was only ever in the illustrations. There wasn't mentioned in the text.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just do a quick YouTube check. Because apparently it's frozen on my hand.
No, we can see your hand moving. Well, I can.
Right. So this will take 10 seconds because of the lag. There you go. I think I'm moving again. Okay. So, right. Okay. So we've got a window. Again, note where the punch marks are. So we've got a punch mark there, and there. So I think this window doesn't actually go in the wrong way round. No, it doesn't. You see there, if we put it in upside down, there's an overlap there. So plus the punch mark shows there. So if we move it this way round, so the punch mark's at the bottom, it actually fits. There's a little ridge down there, and it actually sits on there pretty well. However, let's try it this way round. Right, doesn't seem to matter which way round it goes, as long as the punch marks are there. So now the punch marks are in what I would call the correct position. You can't actually see them.
Yeah.
So we want 4 OP screws.
4 OP screws.
Right, this is the bit where I'm worrying, but I will give it a go. Right, worry. My sound gone again, is it?
No, it's all right now.
Okay. I think we're just having a bad internet day. It's funny that I used to be on 50 megabits per second, whatever broadband, and I had some neighbors that wanted to use my internet. So I upped it to 200, and we paid half the bill each, although I was only getting 150. And I think my stream did improve. But when they moved out, I've downgraded it back to 50. And I never had a problem before when it was 50, but I seem to be having lots of problems now. I'm back down to the lower speed.
Yeah.
And I mean, usage per machine, I am actually running faster on 50 because obviously we had lots of devices using 200. But yeah, just unless it's because it's recently gone down and it's still settling again. Because I know sometimes for a week or two, your broadband can be all over the place, can't it?
Yeah, it can.
I need to speak to mine about my broadband as well. Mine's horrendous.
Oh, this is. I'm just panicking.
Especially my 5G in my flat is non-existent.
Yeah, I'm panicking because we're screwing acrylic through metal into acrylic. I really don't like these pieces being plastic.
Yeah.
You know, if they were metal, you know, even if the screws were too long, you could screw as much as you want. They would come to a full stop. Sorry about my hand, guys. Oh, Paul 61 is watching Bless This House. I remember that.
Yeah.
I
Sid
remember
James.
a lot.
Sid James, yes.
I remember a lot of the programs that they probably would never air today.
Yeah.
One of my favourites is Steptoe.
Yes. Oh, he was a dirty bugger, though, wasn't he?
One of my favourites one is where they divided house in two.
See, I don't like this. That's, I don't know if you can see that. I'm on a fixed focus, so you probably won't. But look, I can get my fingernail under that, and I daren't go anymore.
But if you got your screws in, Penny, see if you can get the window tight.
The window is tight.
Without overscrewing it, then hopefully.
Well, the question I've got is if I attach this with those screws like that, this window is definitely tight, look.
Yeah.
Using those OP screws. You can see they're too long, can't you?
Yeah.
But look, the call I'm going to make is I'm going to screw these in as tight as I dare. And I'm going to make sure that window frame is in nice and tight. And then I'm going to proceed with the future issues. And if it doesn't fit, I'm going to take them out and put DP screws in.
Yeah.
So that's not moving. I am worried about, because that first one I cracked.
Yeah.
And this one, those screws are most definitely too long. Look, you shouldn't be able to get your fingernails in there.
No.
What you could really do with Penny is an idea of how much room you have behind there when you fit it to the bus.
Yeah, that's my worry. If we've got something that's going to go right tight against that, it's not going to fit. If it's going to go like there, then plenty of room. Because there might be, you know, obviously we've got body panels and stuff to go on there and whatnots. And there might be, you know, if there's room to run wires or whatever, then fine. We've got nothing to worry about. Yeah. But I really don't know. So someone might need to remind me if when we come to do this, if it doesn't fit, then it'll be because of those two screws that are too long. But I'm going to go with the OPs.
Yes.
And we're going to see what happens.
Tape, Penny.
Pardon?
Why don't you put a bit of masking tape and just just put a thing on it, OP screws. So to remind you what what ones you've used.
That's actually not an awful idea. So let's try and be really clever and find some masking tape.
Or even your label gun. Yeah, your label machine.
Our label machine will be too sticky. I want something
Yeah,
that will come
but
off.
can't you do a back to back? I can on mine for like putting round cables.
Well, what I can do is I can never find a pen when I want one. I had hundreds of pens the other day. Right. I know that's overkill with the masking tape, but I don't want to write on a join. Right. Oh, excuse me one sec. I know where there is a pen, but it requires a trip around the obstacle course.
Just while you're finding a pen, Penny, Love Minis has put in capital letters, those are not the correct screws.
Are they definitely not?
Well, that's what Love Minis says, but in front of us here are the instructions, Love Minis, of using OP screws. We do have a query about this because obviously Penny has broken one of her parts in the past by using an OP screw, and a lot of people on the Facebook group are using the DP screws instead because they're slightly shorter. And, but twice now in 2 separate magazines we've been told to use OP screws. In fact, I think this is
They have supplied us with OP. And on the other side I have I mean, I've got enough DP screws, but just out of interest, guys, how many of you have kept every single spare screw?
Me.
Because what you've got to remember there is that every time I use a DP screw, that's 4 issues worth of spare screw if they supplied us with a DP screw. Now, let me just... Right, assuming none of
end up using a coloured one by mistake.
Right, I think I might have just... Right, so this is all this. I don't know if some fell out from the other side, but this is my... All right, I've got enough DP screws by the looks of it, but I have kept... This is... Got to remember, I'm doing 2 issues as well. So... Oh, that's really not how you pick up magnetic screws. So yeah, all right, so I've got enough screws, and I could definitely get away with using those red screws, couldn't I?
Yeah.
But the point is, I know people that haven't kept every screw.
Yeah.
Which you know, there's a fair argument to say that they're daft. But the point is that doesn't the magazine advertise that we receive all parts required to make the bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe they will send us a correction, and then they will send us a pack of 4 16 DP screws.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
maybe.
2 packs of 8 or something like that. So has anyone... See, the thing is, we can't even get through to Hachette to tell people about subscriptions. So has anybody got through to Hachette to say they're wrong?
This is why I was saying last week, please could somebody contact Hachette to have you know, some information on this, because obviously some are struggling with the OP, some aren't. And so we could do with a definitive line on this.
I broke my issue, whatever the first one, because I didn't read the instructions. So I will give that to Hachette. But personally, I'd like 12 DP screws. Well, saying that, yeah. So, and I would like another 4 in the next issue if they don't correct it.
Yeah.
Although, but then this is why I keep spares. I just think I'm using a lot of the spares. So, the call I'm making here is I'm using the OPs. I've only screwed them in as much as I dare. And then as you can see there, I've written a little note on the masking tape just to remind me that I've used OP screws, maybe DP. So if when we come to fit this, I mean, like the window's not falling out. It's in there nice and secure. The little side window's in nice and tight, really tight actually. So all it depends on is how much space we've got between here and the bit that goes there.
Yes.
So we might be all right with the OP screws, but for God's sake, guys, do not go in there like a bull in the china shop. For those that weren't watching 2 issues ago, although I did mine wrong, you'll end up with the same result. That's what you'll end up with.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, that was from screwing the window in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is Hachette's fault. So, that's what happens if you screw an OP screw into there, even though it tells you to put an OP screw in, or you should put, you see these DP screws, they are the perfect length. And as you can see, window's not falling out, window frame is in lovely. It's just that little chip there in the corner. So, Hachette have made mistakes before. So, So
right.
I personally think I should take on.
Right. If no one's end up using your DP screws, if they've kept them, they should have had left over 50 of them.
Right. Okay. Right. So we've got plenty there.
And that's
so maybe we should set up a DP screw helpline where people that haven't got enough screws can write in, and all those, like, we'll make an advert like the African Water Boys, know, instead of Jamal has to walk 50 miles for a glass of water, Fred didn't keep his spare DP screws. This is an appeal for, if you send 1 DP screw a month, we can keep a partwork builder going.
So I just have pictures of somebody on the street corner with a Mac with a load of DP screws. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what we can do is we can run the advert in the daytime between the PPI adverts and had an accident that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mark Osborne said, no, you screwed it in without the window, Penny. So
no, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Right.
This is a very similar situation to the guy that did not drop his window bar behind the work drawer thing. The sideboard. He did not drop that behind the sideboard. It wasn't supplied with one.
Yeah.
I'm going to ring him up then. I mean, look, I don't ring up Hachette very often. And when the few times that I do, because I don't ring them up, I don't know if it's because I don't ring them up very often, but I know I had that issue with issues 12 and 13, the little bits on 13. Yeah. I know not everyone agrees with me, but I say they were upside down. So you needed stage 12 for 13 or something like that. So I got them to send me another issue 12 out to fix issue 13. And then I said, no, I don't want one issue. I said, I get 1 newsagent's copy, 1 subscription copy, plus someone has sent me their issue to do. So I want 3. And within 2 weeks, I had 3 issues sent through the post for 1 tiny piece of plastic this big.
Yeah.
But I think that's the last time I rung them up. Oh, and the cab. I had a bent cab.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to ring them up, and I want 12 DP screws, and I want a replace. They'll send the issues out. So
Yeah. Right. Okay. So we'll move on then to stage 6.
yes.
Stage 6.
So stage 6, I have accidentally done because I couldn't see whether to do 1 or 2 of these, so I've done 2. So stage 3 is the same as stage 6.
And has Adrian done stage 6?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So stage 7 then is fit the second window frame 93E with sliding window pane 93F onto the outside of the right wall framework 93B, fixed in place with 2 DP screws.
Trying to figure out which way around this goes. Right, it wants to go into
That one.
this window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you've got fixed window there, sliding window there, sliding window, fixed window.
Yes.
So using that as a template, we therefore yes. Okay, sorry guys. This arrow was deceptive.
Yeah.
You would have thought, yeah, it looks like it's connecting on the wrong side. It's just maybe my eyes are bad and I really need to go to Specsavers, but that was the way my eyes saw it. So it doesn't seem to be. This is all one big bit, so it does not like you can lock it in. It looks like you could actually position this anywhere along that you want.
Yeah.
So I want us to position this over the screw holes. And on top of that, we've only got 2 screws to put in, which is the 2 DP screws.
Yeah, and they're going at the top.
Yeah.
How is yours a tight fit, Penny?
Not really. No, look. Once it's in, no, look, it's not. I can't pick it up without holding it.
Can you check it from the other side if you was to put it?
Can we have a look at yours, Adrian?
Yeah. Oh, if you have a look.
Ah, now I got this on the other side. I actually needed to file. I needed to file mine a little bit.
It's a very lot, basically. It's weird. It's at the front one, unless these are 2 different sizes. But
Mark Osborne says, I presume he means about me ringing up saying I want more screws. Could be classed as screw fraud. I could just see me in prison, in court. Penny Blake, you are accused of screw fraud. needlessly demanding additional screws, which could have been reserved for somebody more deserving. You know, I would class that as much of a crime as calling an ambulance or a fire engine on a false call.
So are you going to file
Lives were lost
down a little bit,
you
Adrian?
demanded that.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, as you've seen me screw windows in before, I'm going to turn the camera over to Adrian.
Actually, I was taking something off the plastic first, off to get the sand down. I can't do that on stream because I'm using the edge of the table so I can actually run it up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would suggest the best thing to use to file the edge of this window down with is a piece of sandpaper or sanding block on the surface, and then rub the piece up and down. So yeah, it's interesting actually that on my last on the other side, I had to file the window. On this one, it's gone in. Well, it's actually poking out. But I know once I screw it down, it'll hold that in. But it does actually go in. If I just show you this on mine, you see it does poke out. But it's not because of an ill fit. It's because of the shape of the piece. So once I screw that in, that will pull that in.
Yeah, you haven't got all the
So
screws
it's
in
nice.
yet.
No, once I get the screws in, it'll pull it in. Yeah, but it's quite nice actually that I've not had to file. The last one I did have to file down. So, but I've noticed that the last few issues, if I've had a problem, everyone else has had the same problem. So, whereas, you know, sometimes you get like some people get paint block and some people don't.
Yeah.
Or some people get this. It's like we all, I'd like to bet this little bent window, we've all got that. And I've got to admit, now that I see the window in, I think I will be asking for a replacement because that is quite visible.
Quite noticeable, is it?
Yeah, and even if I got another one with a defect, there won't be a problem because one window was fine and the other one wasn't.
Yeah.
And Adrian, you've just said yours is the same, didn't you? So there
Yes.
must be. Well, I wonder how many of these windows they printed in one go. You know, maybe they've got a like a die thing that prints like 20 of them.
Yeah, maybe.
And you get like 2 of the 20, which means there's 9 other people that have got perfect windows.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right, so are we waiting for you, Adrian?
Okay, I'm just writing it down basically. Well, if you want to go ahead, Penny.
No, that's all right. If
You could go to the chat, Penny, if you want.
I'm just setting the show up for a bit later on.
No, Peter. That's like a center window. It's one of the sliding windows that's a bit bent and tapers.
Yeah,
it tapers in the middle. One of the sliding windows.
It looks like it's been resting on something hot, and it's just bent. It's just really a case of how much it bothers. I mean, I've got to be honest with you there. Like, if I push that window right up closed, you don't really notice it quite so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's really a case of how much can I be bothered to complain. I've got, you know, if my newsagent's issue is damaged as well, I've got to send one back to the newsagents. I've got to send another one back through Hachette. Got to wait for another one with Hachette. I've got to wait for the newsagent's one. So, you know, there might be people out there that do actually appreciate the windows closed in the summer.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever sat on a bus and watched 2 people fight over the windows?
Yeah.
Where one opens them and one closes them.
There's that YouTube video or Facebook a while ago.
Oh yes, that almost gets out of hand, doesn't it? So, but yeah, you know when things are hotting up, especially if there's a man and a woman involved. because the woman will give the man the glare. Once the woman gives the glare, it's all gloves off then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or like they get on the bus, they open all the windows, and next stop they come to, they get off the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they got a big coat on, they got on the bus, they want it nice and cool. Everyone else got a t-shirt on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
How are you getting on, Adrian?
I think I filed that down enough. I'm ready to put
Lovely.
some screws in now.
Yeah, so Love Minis says, yeah, not the quality of the rest of the build so far. I'm slightly worried and I'm slightly not, because we are roughly at the stage where they don't care so much, don't they? But I do maintain that the overall quality of this build has been good, and I am rather happy with it.
Yeah.
We've perhaps been quite fortunate that people have not been so, like with the DeLorean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the DeLorean, it sort of turned out really bad, and they were like essential upgrades. And, you know, essential upgrades are fine on a cheap product. So I just having a look at my 2 thumbs down. I think that's actually quite funny. So, but if anyone's still watching who's giving a thumbs down, if they want to say what we can do to make you give a thumbs up, that's appreciated. Otherwise, your thumbs down will be completely disregarded, but thanked for the interaction. Yeah, so like, for example, my printers, they are cheaper than, say, the Prusia, and it is built to cut the cost down, and it's absolutely fine out of the box, but you find yourself within about 2 to 4 weeks making essential upgrades. So like, for example, the extruder is plastic, so you replace that with a metal one. So you spend about another 50 quid on it within a month, but you've still got yourself a cheaper printer. But you kind of got to go in with your eyes open. But this is a £1,300 model. It should be the best. It should be the same quality for every single part as the first one. You know, I think you should be buying part 1 to judge it on the quality.
Yeah.
Not judge it on the finished model.
Yeah.
So that's what I did anyway. You know, they gave us a bit of plastic, a bit of metal. I had a look at how. In fact, actually, I think issue 1 was one of the lower quality issues, because there was quite a lot of paint block in the first few issues, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Is that stage 2, Adrian?
Yeah, it's stage 7 done.
Jolly good.
That's done.
Okay, so we'll move on to stage 8 then, Penny.
Right. Okay, so stage 8
is to fit the window pane 93G into the inside of the right wall framework 93B. Fix in place with 4 OP screws, which go through into the window frame 93E. So 4 OP screws, and they're illustrated and written.
Okay, so again, I'm going to go with the OP screws, but I'm going to masking tape it all up to indicate that I've used OPs, but I may need DP. So,
were you about to say in error, Dave? AP.
I did say AP in error, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh, I have no AP screws, Dave, but you corrected yourself.
I did,
right,
yeah.
So as always, I'm looking where the punch marks are. I've lined the screws up, and I can see the punch marks aren't in show. And that's one of the little things I'm actually quite impressed with, actually. they've when you get I've done model kits before where the punch marks are in view, and you think, you know, you need to rework that. But this is obviously, you know, it's like they've gone like, well, it's going to make punch marks, whatever we do. Where can we make them?
Yeah.
So they could have done 2 in the middle, and that would have saved them maybe a little bit of money on the die. But obviously, there would be 2 great big holes in the middle. I suppose you could make this window, couldn't you, yourself?
Yeah.
Right. I'm struggling with this screw. Ah, there we go. So I'm going
Now,
to
have
try.
you got your punch marks up or down?
I've got them down. You want these lower punch marks to run along the bottom of the window.
No, if you feel the window.
Well, on an earlier one, I did flip it over, and it didn't seem to make any difference. So maybe it would be better if we had the punch marks up, although these aren't raised. So,
Well,
let's have a look at
with the punch
window.
marks up, I find it like just putting the temporary screws in by hand, and it is compared to the other side.
Looking at my last side, I've done it randomly because the punch marks are up there, but they're down on that side. So I'm going to deliberately put the punch marks up. And I think I might have just...
Because I reckon the holes could be slightly tapered, probably.
Sorry, Adrian?
I reckon the holes are slightly tapered because then it's easier to come off when it's moulded. That's my opinion.
That might be the case, yeah. Which would explain why sometimes I have trouble getting the hole started and other times I don't. Right. So that one's just started. And then I'll go for the opposite corner.
You might find the releasing pin is actually take the plastic off the pins. That's why you find if you look at the top of the window, you don't have any punch marks. It's no holes on it at all. The thing about it is it's just a piece of plastic flat. You mold it, it's easy to come off. The thing about it, you got pins make a hole in the plastic where it's been made. Of course, then it's got to release it from there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. This particular one, I don't seem to have too much trouble getting the screws in. I just seem to have trouble getting the screws in straight. But these last one just went in fine. We'll see how this one goes in. Maybe I didn't have the screwdriver quite straight. Yeah, that one's gone in fine. Maybe it's just my screwdriver then. Operator error, I think they call that, don't they?
Yeah.
So, just go to show, Penny is not perfect all the time. All right, so that's as close as I can dare. Now that one has actually gone in all the way. I can't get my fingernail underneath that. So I just had to push the frame in a little bit. Do you know what? So was that one.
Excellent.
That's it. That's interesting, isn't it? So I wonder why that is.
Could go back to thickness again, couldn't it?
Could it just be that I was too scared to go in any further with the other ones? Again, that one's gone in okay. That's interesting. That's Adrian, wasn't it? Adrian's phone is always going off with eBay. That I can't get over that. I have definitely used OP screws, and those screws have gone in perfect. Don't know if you can see them. You can see they're definitely sticking out. These ones aren't. I'm too scared to go in any further on those.
Yeah.
And if I just check these, I can't see any minute hairline cracks.
Oh.
So
You're
I
all
don't
right,
know what to
Adrian.
say to that, guys. I really don't.
Well, let's say I can't put one of my screws anymore in.
But I couldn't put mine in. This is the third issue of doing this, and this is the first one that they've gone in fine. So have I just got lucky on this one? Has the holes in the parts been accidentally driven too deep, a millimeter too deep?
Possibly.
What? I can't take my window off.
So I will still say go as close as you dare. I kept going until the resistance increased, and that's where I got. But I also did the same resistance there, and as you can see, I can get my fingernail that.
Yeah.
That.
Have you got a problem
one,
then, Adrian?
Well, yes.
This
Right.
one, you can see
I've had one head of the screw sheared off.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Can you still get to
get it out? Well, that's nice and fixed down. I don't want to put it anymore, and that feels nice and tight. Well, I don't have to worry about the head getting in the way of the body.
No.
Because it's nice and flush.
Jolly good.
Would you have to put a glue over the top?
I can pick at that, and it doesn't want to come off. So I'm quite happy now. I don't want to force it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad the other holes hadn't come through. Otherwise, I would have fun, wouldn't I?
So is yours okay then, Adrian?
Yes.
Okay. Goldie Cott has just asked me, just letting you know, my brother has made a bus channel tonight. Do you want the link? Most definitely. We are always okay with any links to model making channels and anything that's related to this particular program. So if you want to go ahead and post a link, Love Minis, if that gets held for review, would you mind approving it for us, please? I do know Caldecott Bus Spotters. I trust the link he'll post. He's a lovely, really nice, polite guy, actually. He's a bus spotter around Caldecott, and always polite and always nice. And yeah, nice guy. So, right, what's next then?
9 then. Section 9, Penny. We need you on screen.
Oh, yeah.
Guess because you got me.
Yeah, okay. Section 9
There's nothing
is...
wrong with having you, Adrian. We're always a pleasure to have you.
This section now, I'm not going to do until I'm ready to fit them on the bus.
Okay. Is that because of storage issues?
Yes, I'm going to keep them safely in the trays while I'm going to... Because in the trays, they're easier to stack up on one side, and it is
Yeah.
one long piece. Try and find somewhere to trying to keep it safe.
Yeah. Good advice, that, Adrian.
I've done what Adrian's done. Just kept all mine in. Redone all the parts and then put them back into packaging, and I'll put them together.
I'm all right because I've got this lovely base, and I can actually prop the windows up next to the bus.
Yeah.
And they are quite safe. But I have put a few things just to stop the bottom of these sliding forwards.
Yeah.
So what's the complex build for stage 9 then?
Stage 9 is take the 2 sections of the wall framework 93B and 93A and check how they fit together so that the screw holes are aligned, fixed together with 2 FM screws. Take care to support the assembly when handling.
Right. So the 2 previous times I've done this, I've kind of screwed them in and it's been quite loose. So let's use oil this time, shall we? Because that will make my job so much easier.
Yeah.
So the 2 previous times I've done this, they've been difficult to screw in. Whoops, there's way too much oil there. You think you've screwed them in as much as they'll go, and then you feel it and it's really loose and you think, oh no. And then you give them an extra screw and then the screws go in a little bit further and they're still a bit wobbly but not so bad. And you just keep going. And eventually they do really stiffen up, and that has gone in so well. I've actually forgotten how nice it is to use the oil. Now, question for you, Dave. You might know this. Thread lock. Is that like an oil as well as a lock? Because if memory serves me correctly, when you put thread lock on, it's almost like it's lubricated the screws.
Yeah, I suppose it is in a way until it actually sets.
And then it's rock hard.
And then it'll go rock hard.
That has gone in. I mean, it might not be because of the oil, but that has just gone in so well. That is, wow, that's rock solid.
Brilliant.
Of course, now I'm just going to use my shirt. It's only Cardiff Blues rugby top, so don't worry too much. I get told off for wearing this shirt because I'm from Newport. Well, I live 10 minutes from Newport or Gwent Dragons, but I bought this shirt because I like the colour. I mean, if you could get a pink and blue shirt, wouldn't you buy it? No.
No.
Like that. I don't know if I can't say it's because of the oil, but I think I've said that statement before, haven't I? That's just gone in absolutely perfect, straight in there. So, yeah. So I believe there is another couple of stages.
Well, we've got stage 10. If Adrian's ready, well, obviously Adrian isn't doing this, but stage 10, we've got fit the 2 window winders 93D into the sockets in the window bars 93C. These are push fit connections.
Right. So, like last week, guys, I'm only going to fit these if they're a tight fit. And I'm not going to be able to get the bus over here to I can't get this bag open. They've wrapped the sellotape round. Right. So I'll only put the winders in if they're a tight fit. And you'll just have to trust me with the fitting of the bars on the windows. Because I'm not going to get my bus all the way onto the desk just for this. So, right.
But I take it you are going to fit them to your bus.
I'm going to try and fit them. I'll just check in the instructions. So we need these flat bits away from us. and we need the little circle above,
Yeah.
and then we need
Yeah.
to identify the pin. The pin is the smaller of the two. You've got a handle and you've got a pin. So some people will say use tweezers, but you all know my thoughts on tweezers. So, and I'm just going to put that into a random position, and that's nice and stiff. So I'm happy with that.
Jolly good.
Second one, we've got the flat bits away from us. I have done that right, haven't I? Yeah, with the circle above. And we'll do the handle this way, shall we? Now let's have it low. Swing low, sweet
chariot.
See, and I didn't say, I said no singing. Right, so they've gone in nice and stiff. So what I'll do is, cam mic. So you're going to have to watch me on big cam to do this, because it's going to be on the other side. So oh, can't find it. So when I fit this, you've got the bus. I want this so that I'm kind of in effect poking that handle through the window. Obviously there's no window there.
Yeah.
But that's how it's going to go. So I'm doing this by feel because I can't see. Right, that's a nice tight fit.
What Mary said.
Oh, this one don't want to go in. Oh, no, these bars are slightly too long. Yeah, they are and all.
They're too long, are they?
Yeah, unless I haven't got them in right. Oh, I don't think I've got them in right. No. They are about a millimetre or two too long. So as a result, they bow inward slightly.
So you're going in the second window and the third window from the front.
They go in, but they're about a millimetre too long. So you end up compressing them slightly, which causes them to bow. An exaggerated view is like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like that. I'm not overly worried. I think you'll probably I think it's a case of if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't spot it. So
do my shared screen.
When people come around and go, "Oh, I love your bus," I'm the kind of person that will go, "Yeah, it's great, but that bit's not right," and then they'll go, "Oh, we never noticed that." And
right.
I'll go,
So can you share screen with Adrian?
Yes.
That's what.
So yeah, that's exactly how I put them in. You see, I put them second window and third. That top looks like Bertie. I like that. Yeah, licorice, all sorts. So yeah, they are push fit connections. They go in okay, but like I say, my first one, you see where it says 85A. That one is slightly too long. Off camera, I might switch them around and see if that makes a difference.
Try them the other way, yeah. It might be worthwhile doing that.
Let me just pop this up in my little safe place. So, are we ready for the next issue then?
Well, you've got your finished views now of what it should look like.
Oh, yes.
Could be on Adrian's shared screen if he's got finished views.
Oh, I lost Adrian's screen. There we are. So that's what it should look like. That's not quite what it looks like. That's a double view of the same part. I thought that was
Yes,
last,
that's right, yeah.
and I quite like the assembly drawing they've done this week.
Yeah, they've done
It's,
another one, haven't they?
It's shown everything as one. Have you got? Yeah, that one. That
That's
top.
it, yeah.
It's very complicated, but it's everything all done in one go.
Yeah. Hi, Dave Mel.
Hey, Dave, how are you? Gonna get you on the show one day.
So that's issue 93 complete.
Yeah. So, are you
Yes.
ready to have a look at issue 94?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So, this is issue 94.
Issue 94.
Sorry, guys, I couldn't resist. Right, hang on. I am trying to adjust my cameras. So this is no, I've lost it. Right. So this is really issue 94, and let me have it open up. So, and do you know what? Right now, I know I say this all the time. You know my thoughts of the first figures. I really didn't like them, and then I kind of accepted them. Wasn't happy with them. As we got more figures, and I could see how the character the build was building. I put up with them more, and I quite enjoyed them. But I have to say, when I saw this one, I actually liked it immediately. I don't know what it is about it, but this is the first time I've actually touched it. I actually do like this.
Yeah.
What's he got in his hand, Penny?
Penny, your mic's gone.
One.
Hello.
Hello.
Right. To go. She sits there, and he sits there.
Ah.
And you've got, just in two figures there, you've got some real, or she can perhaps look a bit,
Yeah.
maybe they've had a bit of a row. Oh, come on, babe. It's not that serious. Oh, well, if I have to tell you, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Now, we could go all day with these scenarios, couldn't we?
We could, yeah.
So I do actually like this figure. I don't know why. It's all dull. In fact, there's no actual real color on there. When you consider browns and grays are not colors, the only color between the two figures is a hairband.
Yeah.
And yet I really like them. So she's got funny eyes there. I think she's been hypnotized.
Yeah.
It's probably all the drugs she's been using.
Yeah. So, and there's some really good news for all those guys that absolutely hate the figures. And I will read the magazine for you to find out what it is. So, guys, even though this is a little figure, the magazine still states, even with these figures, it's not intended for not suitable for children under 14.
Yeah.
So I know that still may not prevent me from the rules, which I will discuss later on. So here's the good news for all you figure haters. The Beatnik Man is the last of the passengers for your Routemaster model. You can team him up with a Beatnik girl supplied in issue 83. And That actually, I really like that pose there.
Yeah.
There's something going on there that perhaps we don't really want to interfere with.
Yeah.
So the beatnik man is dressed in typical black jeans, black turtleneck jumper, and charcoal sports jacket. He is designed to sit next to the beatnik girl above, but if you prefer, they can sit on opposite sides of the bus, gazing out of the windows. So I quite like the way that I will try him out on the seat, but the way his hand just comes over on the side of the seat there.
Yeah.
And if you want to bring the bus into the 21st century, you might be able to pop a little mobile phone in there, and he might look like he's on a call.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, didn't someone post up about some buses with eyes on them in the Facebook group?
Yeah, there was.
So I need to go to Brooklyn Museum.
Penny.
I need to go to Brooklyn Museum.
Penny Adrian's talking to you.
Sorry, Adrian, did you say something?
You could put them both either side of the bus, basically, and they're both looking across the arrow from each other.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of different poses. I mean, if your imagination is good enough, you can interact all the other figures with each other. Quite easy to do. You know, you might have the bowler hat man might be eyeing up the girl with the target on her dress. You know, he looks like a very respectable businessman, but actually he's a complete and utter pervert. You know, there's ways you can team things up, isn't there?
Yeah.
My old lady is definitely going on the back seat on the bench seat on the lower deck, because I feel she's the kind of person who judges everybody who comes on the bus. You know, like some old ladies do. Well, look at her. Look at those shoes. Oh, she'll have terrible calves when she's older. And look at the size of her hips. She'll never be able to have more than 3 children. And, you know, and there's something wrong with everybody that walks on the bus.
Yeah.
I'll have to
So what do you guys think? Sorry, Fleetwood.
I'll have to redo my diorama video towards the end now of all the figures and come up with backstories for each of them, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we could have some kind of competition ready for the first for September. I don't know, January even. Carry on spying movie posters. So what do you guys? I mean, Adrian, what do you think of the figures? You want extra ones, don't you?
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, they've grown on me more, and almost to the point where when I read this is the last passenger, I'm almost at the point where I'm saying, oh, but I suppose really I'd rather have bus pieces, but we still got 2 figures to come. The facts that I see it is we are getting a female conductor, and we are obviously going to get a driver, aren't we? If we're going to get a conductor, I don't recall anywhere saying we will get a driver, but we've got to get a driver, haven't we?
Surely.
Yeah.
Yes, we must.
Is that the end of the figures? You know, could there be a ticket inspector or something?
No.
You know,
I don't think
they
so.
haven't. I don't know. I see. If they gave us an inspector, it would show us the uniform of the inspectors, as well as the uniform. Because didn't the conductors and the drivers have slightly different uniforms?
Yeah.
And obviously they'll have different coloured badges, won't they? The driver has a red badge and the conductor has a green badge. Don't know if that works the same in London. So if they had an inspector, then it would show a different uniform. So, you know, that's. I think that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't.
So,
you might.
I suppose the actual.
Probably the conductors probably had a coat on, and the driver wouldn't. If you think about it, if it's raining and he's hanging off the back, basically, he'll probably half the time get slightly wet, so might need a coat.
Well, see, driving that bus in the summer, if he's wearing a big coat and in that heat with the bus,
Yeah.
which wasn't cold, I think he's a bit mental.
I've done an inspector on my diorama already, but if we get another one, then just have to have two on mine, if you know what I mean. One will have
So
to be
we have got a new channel on the channel. We've got Newport Bus Spotters. So Newport Bus Spotters is actually, believe it or not, the brother of Caldecott Bus Spotters. So a couple of nice young lads. Like I say, they are quite respectful. Have a little look at their videos. Comment on them. You know, give them constructive criticism. You know, they do. They're quite nice. I do like them actually. I've got no issues with them at all.
Yeah, well, I've subbed to Newport Bus Spotters already, and I'd be obliged if they could sub back to mine, which would be great. And because that's my ruling is that if I sub to your channel, please sub to mine, and that's the way the community grows, really.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, right, the only thing I can think of left to discuss, which was brought up earlier on, is that horrible, boring discussion of copper. Now, I will give you my theory, which is that YouTube have been fined heavily, and they're taking it out on the YouTube channel makers. Now, copper is to do with the protecting the data of under 13s. I don't, from the wording, I don't think it's to do with stopping them from watching it. So now the only way that I can control the data protection is to put people under 13 off my channel, because I believe the data collection is not just, for example, if you leave a comment, that's you've exposed yourself publicly. You know, we've got 44 people watching this at this precise moment, but we haven't got 44 people commenting. So if we've got like 10 people have commented, we've got 34 people who we will never know the identity to unless they make a comment. So if you're under 13 and you now make a comment, you are now voluntarily exposing yourself, even though at the beginning of the show we said this is not suitable for under 14s.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like I say, it's if there is any collecting of data, I think it's YouTube's fault.
Yeah.
And I think the changes that should be made is, first of all, when you register your YouTube account, it's been so long since I've had a YouTube account, but when you register, you should be forced to put your date of birth in.
Yeah.
And if you are under 13, you should then be blocked from watching anything over 13.
Yeah.
Now, I also think there should be like a parent account where you have control of anyone, you know. So if you register yourself as a parent and then you register 5 channels for each of your 5 children, every time they watch a channel, you then it automatically gets blocked, but you then get the opportunity to say, well, actually, I'll allow my child to watch that, because I do believe in maturity is not set on the day you're born. You'll get one person might be 10, has a maturity level of a 16-year-old, and we all know lots of adults that has a maturity of an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So, but I think I get the impression that a lot of this is, let's say I'm doing a kids channel acting as a kid, when in fact what I'm trying to do is lure the children in for other intentions. I think that if you are making your intention clear right from the very beginning, that could free you of any consequence.
Yeah.
You know, like where we say, right, this is designed for someone over the age of 13. If you're under 13, please do not watch it. If they then watch it, how can that be my fault?
Yeah,
and
can't be, can
a fair argument.
It can't be, can it?
I think also eventually that maybe the way around this would be to YouTube to start charging a monthly fee. They already got the YouTube Premium, which is floating around at the moment. But I think I could see eventually that free YouTube will probably go, forcing all of us to pay a monthly fee. Because obviously the only way to pay a monthly fee is if
What
you have...
you mean, a fee for using YouTube?
Yeah, you know,
Right.
no ads, no nothing. You know, be a subscription service. And that way they can get around a lot of the rules and regulations because it's a subscription service. And you have to be over 13, 14 for that, maybe.
I don't think YouTube should be pushing under 13s away.
No, you have to.
There is.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I had the intention to, I now wouldn't be making content for under 13s.
No.
Because I know my ad revenue would drop drastically. There won't be searchable, so it's harder for people to find it. And of the people who will find it, I'll make less money from it.
Yeah.
So it's pointless. So I might as well go to other areas, say Twitch, for example. And I know there's other channels, but I wonder if this is going to open up for something like a YouTube clone to step in.
Probably.
You know, everyone remembers the day of MySpace, and that really got taken over by Facebook.
Yeah.
And there was another one. They made stricter rules, and everyone just went sod. Oh, it was some anonymous type of Facebook where people could remain anonymous, and then they changed the rules where you actually had to register an account, and everyone that went sod that, I'm leaving. And I think if they start doing subscription fees, because be honest with you, even the subscription fee was $1 a month, who here would actually pay that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I know that the channels I watch, the successful ones, they get a little bit of revenue from me watching.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes the adverts are watch worthy. So I will actually watch the whole advert.
Because there's YouTube Kids as well now, aren't there? So you know, I could see it there be a two-tier system that basically you're gonna have the kids ones like 0 to 13, you know, very kid friendly, blah blah, and then you may have to have some kind of premium service for the adults, you know, guaranteed adult, you know.
The premium account.
I think the majority of us are going to be. See, when I mark my videos suitable for under 13s or suitable for over, I think 99% of us are genuine in that.
Yeah.
So I don't think we probably have. I think we're overreacting as to what we think is going to happen. I am worrying about some of my content. I've got these 2 robots to do at some point. And these are clearly marked on the box, ages 8 and up.
Yeah.
So when I do this on stream, I'm going to have to mark that. Well, no.
For kids, yeah.
Right. No. Is there a difference between this is suitable for kids and suitable for all ages?
I think it boils down to the word appeals. If it appeals to a child, I mean, you could have the most strangest idea, thinking it's an adult contented video, but if it appears to a child to be highly hilarious, highly funny, and they like your channel, then you're going to get kids watching it. It's a very hard line to say what to do. You know, like Lego, model building, train sets, RC cars. Are they?
See, I think the majority with Lego, I think the majority of the viewers would be younger people. There's a lot of older people that will watch it, but I think primarily it is aimed for kids, isn't it? Has that deliberately gone off there? Have we just lost his camera?
No, I think he's just stopped his cam for the minute.
There we go, he's back. So yeah, it's not like see, like if I did football videos, the majority of my audience would be adults, but that's something that could appeal to a younger audience. Football training videos, that would probably, you got a little bit more younger audience, but again primarily appeals to adults. So that's one of those crossovers, isn't it? See, they use definition with words and pictures, bright vibrant colors, usage of certain words like cool. Now I don't believe that just because you use the word cool once or twice, that automatically makes it appealing. If you're constantly using, you know, like when we brought sparkles onto the show, that doesn't make the whole thing instantly appealing. Because it's only part of the video. So and also you've got this thing where if the FTC wants to find someone, it's very hard for them to find someone outside of the UK, outside of the US. However, that being said, they can just take a shortcut and go straight to YouTube and go shut the channel down. So we still have to be careful. But I really think primarily what this is about is collecting data and my grandson likes toy cars getting covered in mud, then washed. What's that all about? Well, that's the strange world of kids, isn't it? So, but yeah, I think I got a feeling that what it's mainly about is the main intention. You know, if I marked a video as for not for kids, and it was all about the adventures of Peppa Pig, that's and even worse, if I marked it as for kids and there was it was a video about beheadings or something, that's very wrong. So and it's, I don't know, I don't know, are pedophiles less common now, or do I just not get to hear about them so much? Because that was the big thing, wasn't it? Going into chat rooms, pretending you're a kid, arranging to meet up for a comic swap or something, and the next thing you know, some 12-year-old has gone around some stranger's house and all sorts of strange things have been going on.
Well, I can't say much because we've got one living next door to us, me.
What's that?
We've got a pedo living next door to me in Fleetwood, and he's recently, beginning of this year, he was actually on YouTube. Fleetwood Enforcers, they actually collared him, and at the beginning of the video, really shaky camera footage, you actually see my front door to my building. Well, Dave's seen it, he knows what I mean. But, yes, so it's wherever you go. I mean, this is that stigma, isn't it? It's like men are the biggest one, but it can be anyone or anything. It's a dangerous subject. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, but,
well, we watch all these paedophile hunters, you know, just for some entertainment more than anything else, and there is thousands and thousands. You know, you probably don't hear of it, Penny, because you're not probably looking at the right channels.
I'll just say I've switched my camera off because I've got a bit of a theory. A couple of times you guys were a little bit not like that, and then my camera kind of flashed, buffered, and then you guys were all right. So I'm just going to turn my camera off while we're chatting. sort of reduce the bandwidth a bit, and I think that might be working. So you might be right. So what you're saying there is I'm not seeing it because I'm not actively looking for it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not something that I'm involved with, and I don't wish to be.
Sadly, the part where I live,
I think that is because I think as we introduce new technology, you can't think of all of the bad things that could happen. So you don't have most of the rules and the laws that we have are based on bad things that have happened, and they exist just to stop them from happening again.
Yeah.
So
sadly, where I live, we get a lot of it because obviously it's the seaside town, isn't it? It's the lure.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, if you actually watch, like Dave says, or look on certain places like Fleetwood Enforcers, Blackpool Enforcers, there's quite a few going around.
Yeah.
You see these poor guys, I'm not sticking up for them, but you see these poor guys just get ambushed like on the North Pier with a camera shoved in their face. They're saying, "Oh, you contacted a 12-year-old girl. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Are you meeting them today?" And it's quite, I mean, it's aggressive and it's quite scary, and it's like, and they literally move these guys down till the police come. It's, yes, okay, I'm not condoning what they do is wrong. That's so wrong. I agree with that, but it's wherever you go, So sorry, Mark Osborne was saying, what's happened to Mike Anderson? He closed his YouTube channel down, we think.
Yeah, I think that was over copper. I think that was in the early days when we didn't really understand the full impact of it. No. My personal opinion was that I think it's a little bit daft that he's deleted his channel. I know he's now set another channel up, which he won't be releasing videos. He'll be using that channel just to watch videos. So he might be watching this channel right now. He might have commented. I don't know. But obviously, if he's, if you don't, sometimes it's safe. If you don't understand the rules, don't try to play with them. And then you can't go wrong then, can you? So I'm not saying what he's done is right or wrong. I just think it was a little bit silly to have deleted his videos. But, that's fine. That's Mike's choice, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but going back to like copper, you know me, I started doing days out around where I am. I'll have to do a few more on next year, but I don't know now what to do about that because I was talking to somebody who knows YouTube laws pretty well, and even if I film a kid by accident, by 5 seconds or something, they suddenly walking across the camera, I've got to somehow try and cut that out, or I've got to ask their permission or their parents' permission that it could be on my film. Do you know what I mean? So if I go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or I accidentally filmed, I don't know, half a population, do you imagine me trying to go around and get...
You can film in a public place, can't you?
Yeah, but you got to be very careful where you film in a public place.
Yeah, you got to be careful because it's... But to be honest with you, most of the time when you get in trouble, it's things like... Because there's laws on certain buildings, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You can't film certain buildings because there's laws protecting it from being filmed. I don't understand that. So again, just like Mike has chosen to, I don't film buildings because I'm really not sure on the rules on it.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah, I'm Paul. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. A go, and he's decided. Well, he has also said he hasn't got the time to do the YouTube builds, but obviously people run their channel how they want to run it, and if they're really, really brilliant, they'll get millions of subscribers, and if they're not very good, they'll end up with about 3 subscribers.
Yeah.
So everyone else will go somewhere in between.
Yeah.
So
that's it. like I said on my update, yes, I will be cutting back on the videos, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
There won't be any more Lego builds, but I will be concentrating on other projects, and less is more my thing now. I think I've learned a lesson. You know, I came out the YouTube gates all guns blazing. Then all of a sudden you reach to a point where you think, I'm actually bloody knackered from doing it, because you don't realise people just see these videos, you building something, you think, oh, that's easy. But you've got the editing, the uploading, and everything else. And you've got to try and do 1 or 2 videos per week. It can take up to a day or so to actually.
I found some of the videos I did was an absolute breeze to make, and you think, yeah, I could produce 3 videos a day at this rate, and then all of a sudden you run into my R2D2. I started getting to more complex bits. Same with the ship. It was getting really, really hard for me to put out a weekly video, because it was like, do a little bit, then wait overnight. So you might only be doing 5 minutes work, you know, varnish a piece of wood, then you got to wait overnight for it to dry. And you can't put out a weekly video of, here you go, here's 1 piece of wood I varnished 5 coats. But I was obviously, when I changed my shifts to spare rotor, that made it very difficult for me to do channel videos in the way I was doing them. And it's taken me 3-4 months to figure out how to. And I think I've now figured it out, which is that I will do 3 3D print tractor videos every 4 weeks. And then on the in-between days, I'll just do update videos. So like the R2, if I've only printed 1 or 2 pieces off, that's all you'll get on the video. And, you know, if I've only done 3 or 4 planks, then that's what you'll get on the ship video. So guys, I'm going to give you something way in advance what's happening. So I don't know if they still got the sale on. Now, I'd always made it my intention, the Millennium Falcon, because it's a flying ship. I thought when that finishes, I will replace that with something else that flies. And I had my eye on the Thunderbird 2 and the DC-3. While I'm talking, I'll just ask the question, would anyone have a preference? It won't make a difference what you say, because I've already made the decision. Now, the Millennium Falcon should finish around about March or April. And I was going to start saving up for a complete kit. So obviously, if you buy it in one complete go, you do save a little bit of money. But Model Space had an offer and a Black Friday deal. And there was one particular model that was reduced in price from £649 to £249. And I will repeat that. £249.
That's amazing.
That was the DC-3. So bear with me one sec, guys. I am going to put myself on full view. I shall be back in a second.
Okay.
All I like to say quickly is, well, one weekend when I'm back home, I will be doing the Renault show, and I will be doing the Fiat show if Penny can join me in. We'll have to find out what day she's free. But yeah, I'll try and catch up with my videos as well. Oh my God.
So this is coming to my channel round about March. So if anyone's got £249 spare, you too could end up with 12 boxes that looks like this.
Wow.
And 12.
That is brilliant, Penny. That's absolutely brilliant.
Well, this is, I'll only show you the one box. Like I say, this is going to go on the shelf till I finish the Millennium Falcon. Oh, I didn't open this one. Right, well, you guys are going to be as surprised as me then. I already know what's coming in this one anyway because I've seen the instructions. So this is pack 1. I think you can see that. So you've got all the wooden sprues. You've got to make up the framework. You've got a box there that I have no idea what it is. That's handy. You get a plastic box there, so that'll be handy for bits. But this is a 1:32 scale. You've got instrument panels, and it's a little bit unusual because when you order the packs, you normally get sort of 4 or 5 issues. With this one pack is only 1 issue, but pack 1, which I say it's 1 issue, but it's 64 stages. Sorry, 75 stages, and be amazing. There's stages 1 to 6, and that's proper old school model making, isn't it? You've got to spray the pieces. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Wow, so that's brilliant.
That's given me a real push to get the Millennium Falcon done. But I couldn't not buy it. I'll just put this down somewhere. And it's quite heavy. Not as heavy as the bus. Actually, it probably is.
Just while you're putting that back, Penny, if you can still hear me, Chris Davis says, Penny, have you seen my comment? And that was about his cotton on his belt.
Yes, I will. I'll try and find some cotton. I was meant because we need some ready coloured cotton, don't we? Sort of a maroon colour.
I think you need upholstery cotton because that's a lot thicker. And that would do the job just as good. Something like so leather with,
Yeah, we'll find you something, Chris. Even if we have to go down the convenience store and buy something. Paul 61 says I don't do wooden models. Wooden models are the work of the devil and his brother. Part of the reason I got it is because I do quite like the wooden models, actually. One of the things I'm enjoying about the ship is putting the bits together. But there's the other bit is the aluminium foil. It's scaring the hell out of me. I don't know if I can do it. But Love Minis will hopefully back me up on this. Love Minis, how many times have I done a bit of painting and said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And I produced an ad. You don't know until you have a go, do you?
No.
What is it the saying? Oh, I heard a saying today, and I can't remember. There's no such thing as something. You either do or you don't. So something along the lines of that. You'll either do it or you won't. And I quite like that. The way I interpret that is I'll have a go at this DC3 and I'll either do a really good job or I'll completely screw the whole lot up. But isn't it better to have a go? I see no problem with failure as long as you end up saying, okay, I failed, but I now know what I've done wrong.
Yeah.
So, let's give it a go. So, guys, I'm going to have to take a quick mini break. I seem to be having a bit of an issue today, so carry on chatting or something.
Okay, we will. That's not a problem. Chris Davis says, at Dave's, you should sing a Christmas song. If I sang a Christmas song, everybody would disappear from the channel. So, no, I'm not. You can sing a Christmas song. You're Welsh.
I might have a bit of news on the Renault 4. I had an email from Model Space France, Altair, and they're impressed with what I've done so far. And they said they're going to contact me in the new year, and they might be taking the build over. And I actually supplied the parts direct from France and Altea straight across. So
wow, that's brilliant.
Wow.
So,
that's brilliant.
You know, I've had positive comments come off me. I sort of did say to them, I said I did do 7 and 8 off camera.
Yeah.
It was a bit tricky, and they said that's no worry. As long as you continue the build and show us you're doing the build, we'll talk to us in the year, and we might be able to continue the build over. So, which would be quite good, really.
That's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously doing a really good job, and they're obviously pleased with what's happening.
Yeah, I think what it is, like they said to me, is that because it's a French part work, you know, they only expect people in France to do it, and they were saying,
yeah,
I'm not surprised that, you know, I was doing it, and they were asking me how was I getting the magazines and the sub, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. I think it might be good if you could talk to them about English instructions as well.
Yeah,
that would be really helpful.
Yeah, but like they said, it gives us a test bed. If people like it, they might bring it over.
Yeah,
because they did use the word that possibly I could be a model space influencer.
The trouble with the French part works, though, is are they doing well because they're appealing to that audience? There's that Renault bus that I really want to do, but to be honest with you, the only reason I want to do it is because it'll sit good with the Routemaster, because it's a bus of the same scale.
112,
yeah. Now, you know, Spitfire might do well over here, and I suppose a Messerschmitt 109 would do well in Germany, but would the two do well in the opposite countries?
Yeah.
The Mustang build, I don't know if there is a Mustang build, but a Mustang build would probably do very, very well in America, but how many people in England care?
Yeah.
I think Model Space has sort of dipped their toe bringing a foreign part work to the UK is the Fiat 126. You know, it's got to be the most quirkiest, unusual part work. I mean, if they were going to bring
which one?
The Fiat 126, obviously, isn't it? Because that was Polish originally. That was only available.
Oh, the Fiat, yeah. Oh, talking of the Fiat, Fleetwood, thank you so much for sending the parts. I've now fixed. I'm actually quite pleased with it now. I did do it off camera, and I'm sorry if anyone wanted to watch me do it, but there is my new engine, thanks to Fleetwood.
Yay!
Wow!
Because if you remember, that screw sheared off.
Yeah.
But you know, like
this is
quite good. Yeah. And then
this is what happens when you put a valve cap in without using tweezers.
Yeah.
I hope I put that in the right way round. Yeah, I did, because there's nowhere else to put it.
No.
So.
No, because we'll have to crack on.
Dave says, is that a Lancaster on your mug?
Yeah. It's actually a commemorative mug from seeing 3 Lancasters at East Kirkby in Lincolnshire in 2014 when the Canadian Lanc came across, and it's a commemorative mug to say that we've actually seen the 3 Lancasters, 2 Lancasters, the Flying One of England that's owned by the British Army, or should I say British Air Force, and the Canadian Lancaster that flew across in September, I think it was, and then our own Lancaster, Just Jane, that's at East Kirkby, that doesn't fly at the moment, that hopefully will fly one day. We was at East Kirkby on the 7th of September, I think it was, I can't remember, 2014, and we saw the 2 Lancasters fly over the 1 Lancaster that was on the ground. And there was 5,000 people on 3 separate days, so that's 15,000 people that actually saw that happen, all in one go, all in one 1 month, I think it happened, while the Canadian Lanc was across here. Was such a lovely moving day, was really nice, and because of course I am a Lancaholic as well, so yeah, I'm quite interested in Lancasters, and a wall here. I can't see right now, but up on the wall we've got a Lancaster either coming into land or just starting up on its journey. So in a picture, I have various pictures around, and I'm building a 90-inch wingspan, radio controlled Lancaster out of wood. I hope to have it restarted again when the bus is finished, and we want to eventually display that. We won't be flying it, but we will be putting engines in it, real engines in it, and we may get it to the point that it will start up and run, but that's about it. Of course, after I've spent many years building it, I don't want to risk flying it and it crashing, because obviously a 4-engined petrol engine plane is very difficult to maneuver, especially when I know nothing about radio control planes. So yeah, I'm a Lancaholic. That's just another.
Did anybody subscribe to the test of the Spitfire? Because if you did, you probably would have got free gifts through the post this week, and it seems that different people got different free gifts. I actually got this, which I've decided to give away because I'm just one of those kind of people. If I can find someone that would appreciate things more than me, and Dave, you've gone on mute, because this is my cup of choice, and as you can see, there's no comparison. But I know, Adrian, you got a gift as well, didn't you? But yours was a little better than mine, actually, much better than mine.
Mine was a key ring.
Jealous. A key ring.
Yes, I don't know where I got it from.
So, and
I don't know where I put it, Mum.
I know someone got what looked like a little gold Spitfire in a little glass case. I'm sorry, P40. I've got 2 of them. One is for my subscription, and one is for someone else. But I've actually decided where that one's going. So a little tiny bit too late. I'm sorry, P40. If I could get hold of another one, I will send you one. I would be more than happy to do that, because I can't think of. Well, I'm going to be absolutely fair to you, P40. I can only think of one guy that's more deserving. No, you're pointing the wrong way, Fleetwood.
No, I'll just like,
yeah. Well, actually, I can. So, no, yeah, you understand. I'll see if I can get you something, P40, because Christmas is coming up soon, isn't it? Although saying that package I've sent you, I couldn't possibly have got more in that box if I tried. I might be able to get a sheet of paper in there. So, and that's about it. So, right. Okay, guys. So Bismarcks, Mustangs, Lancaster Spitfires. Yeah. Oh, you got a free notepad on a fridge magnet. Yeah. I think the best gifts are the unexpected gifts, aren't they? To go downstairs and have 2 packages with my name on them, and they looked a bit Hachette, you can tell Hachette stuff because it's the way it's the font that they use. You got Model Space uses theirs, and you've got 2 packages, but I've got one. I'll get back to you, P40. I can't remember. Yeah, so when you pick up 2 packages and both's got your name on it, but one's got your name a bit weird, because what I do is when I do a subscription for somebody else, what I've started to do is change the initials. So if I did a subscription for Dave Say, I would put DS Penny Blake or Penny DS Blake, and then that tells me which one is which. So if the subscription didn't come on the same day, if I got Penny Blake, I'll go, oh, Dave's subscription hasn't arrived. And then maybe, likewise, if I got DS, I'll go, Dave's arrived, but mine hasn't. So I know exactly who that's going to. And then this one, I've decided to give it to someone who'll appreciate it more than me. And I think even if we wanted to, I don't think anyone did this. No, it's actually nice if I could get you a gift that's, well, I mean, you just appreciate everything anyway, don't you? But, I've got some nice mugs, some expensive, some cheap. This is quite an expensive one, but this is a really nice mug. It's actually as a painting mug, but I've got some nice Game of Thrones mugs. I've got a Game of Thrones color changer, heat one, but this is my go-to mug because it's bigger.
Actually, P40, if you want to private message me your address, I will send you something that's Lancaster related, that's quite unique. So I'll do that. So if you send me your address, P40F20, via private message, I'll send you something that's Lancaster related, that's unique. Okay.
Actually, I just thought of something. One of the great things about having all these contacts and things, sometimes you get given stuff and you're like, that's really nice, but I know someone that would want it more than me. And I know plenty of, if I got something, I can just go, oh, I'll send that to so-and-so, XYZ. I've got some, I don't know, a really old KiwiCo build. Oh, I'll send that to Fleetwood. That kind of thing. I don't think that will ever happen, but any idea what's on the horizon, Fleetwood, for the next one?
Trasket ball. It's a waste paper bin with a basketball hoop.
Okay.
That's November's. So I've got December's coming along as well. I'm not too sure where that is until it's dispatched.
Well, that won't be appealing to under 13s, will it? Because that's in the same subject line as tidying your room.
Yeah, it's not my favourite. I've had a look at it and it's pretty naff, really. But
yeah, you'll get some you love and some that aren't as good, aren't you? Whatever you put after the ukulele, it's probably not going to be much better, is there?
No.
Because the first build was quite challenging, but that ukulele looked really challenging.
Yeah, that was the fiddliest one. Yeah. Let's try and find your picture. Well, that's
so. Adrian, you're not. Oh, that don't look too bad. That doesn't look too bad. Is it big?
That's November's. I've got December's on its way, but I don't know what that is yet. It's in dispatch. So with KiwiCo, what you do is you pay for it, and then it says coming soon, then shipped. Then all of a sudden you get the what it is, if you know what I mean. So it's a mystery.
Yeah.
The next shipment's due on the 6th of December. So probably be Christmas, New Year, maybe.
Oh, so it's any time now, really, then?
Yeah.
So I bought myself a Christmas present. It's you guys have already seen it because I showed you last week, but last week I hadn't bought it. Hello, Dave Bassett. How are you? I just got home. Unfortunately, my ex-wife's mother's. Oh no! Oh no! Right. Okay. Let me.
Dave Bassett.
So I have bought myself this as a what I call a Maybelline present. Because I want to do this. I don't think this is the one with the child on it. That did what? No, it isn't. That did worry me. I made an offer of. It's quite funny actually. It's £82. I made an offer of £75, and they counter offered was £75.50. So I thought, well, if you're that desperate, you're going to fight that hard for 50p. Yes, solid, you can have it. Yeah. So that's coming anytime between. When is it? It did tell me. Well, it's a very well. They've actually given me a Royal Mail tracker number for it, and it's all in Chinese at the moment. So it's still somewhere in China. It's going to be here somewhere between the 6th of December and the 2nd of January. So I won't be ready for that for. Oops, wrong screen. I won't be ready for that for quite a while. But I've been looking at a lot of woodworking videos, and I've seen. What am I doing? Can't control my screens. Look. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I don't see the problem is I want to make a wood cutting thing, but I need to cut the wood to make the wood cutting thing. So I bought that, and I am still going to make my own. But I've been looking at like an all-in-one table. Yeah, right. It was actually you that kind of got me onto that, David. I spoke to David a while, but it's you, David, who does the bases, isn't it? I spoke to him a while back, and I said, could you cut me these bits of wood so that I can make this? And then once I've made that, I can cut my own bits of wood to make the other tools. And he gave me, I'll use the word lecture for want of a better expression, but he gave me this big, long Facebook message about care and not losing your fingers and this, that, and the other. And I kind of went, yeah, you got a point there. And, and I had a word with a couple of other people, and, and I'm thinking about designing a 3D printed guard for it. I've also seen we've got one at work. It's a big, massive one, and it's got like a little plate at the back. And I think that plate is called a splitter, so that it kind of splits the wood in two as you push it up. But it also houses a guard, and this piece of wood is the same width as the blade, and that's the kind of guard I want. But in the end, I've gone for that one because it's got a certain amount of safety to it, and I'm going to use the bits of wood and push it through with the bits of wood. So if I slip, I'll cut the wood. But I want to make like an all-in-one table where I can either flip bits over. But I've seen a really nice one actually, and it's got like the wood cutting bit there. I forget what they call it. Let's call it a mill, shall we? And then over there, we've got the drill press. And down here, we've got the sanding disc. And then we've got something else over there. And I had a little chat with my landlord. My landlord had last summer, actually, he said about, do I need more space? And I said, no. I said, but to be honest with you, I'd like more space, but I'm the kind of person, if you give me more space, I will just fill it full of more crap. So I will turn down the more space. So he just sort of said, almost randomly, I'm going to get you a shed for the garden. So I said, okay, fine. So I've kind of pushed him a little bit more for the shed, and I found a nice 8x4 shed, and I'm going to get all electronics and everything, get all plugs and things in, get some lights, and hopefully by February, what I've basically said to him, I said, I'll meet you halfway. Well, I say halfway. Instead of you buying the shed, I'll pay for the shed, but if you can put that on my rent arrears, and then I will pay monthly or weekly to catch up. So, I'll pay like an extra 20, 30 quid a week. And to be honest with you, the cost of the shed is about a month's deposit on my flat when I moved in. So, I could end up with a shed.
Yeah.
So, and I'm looking at some plans and things to do, space saving things, and I'll probably muck everything all up to start with. And the bits of wood that I spend ages cutting square won't come out square, but that's how you learn, isn't it?
What, we're going to have the Newport workshop, Penny's turn to North Abraham.
Yeah, but I'm even going to put the first thing I'm going to make is a corner shelf to put my coffee filter machine in.
But this project is a dining room chair, with 3D printed elements, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
What I'm planning is to have shelves, have a bench about whatever height is a good working distance, and we'll have all the plug sockets on the back wall about that height, or possibly lower, so that for the plug sockets, I'll drill a hole in the worktop, and then I'll have to take the plug off, feed the wire through, put the plug back on in and plug it underneath, so that the cables are all out of the way. But then near the door, I will have one plug that's lower, so I can plug one of my halogen heaters in so I can work in the winter. And then we'll have a strip light, and I'm going to have those big emergency red buttons. I'm going to have one of those with a key, so when I finish at night I can hit the stop button, turn the key, and then no one can turn it on. Because the other side of the garden there's an annex, and I think they've got kids. So if I have a stop button up high and it's lockable with a key, if they ever do get in the shed, they're not going to cut their hands off. And I might be able to do some videos from the shed, Penny's shed.
Yeah.
So
this old shed's brought to you by Penny. You know what I mean?
But it's probably way overkill for me, because most of the stuff I want to make is actually the tools in the shed. So once I've decked out the shed to the way I want it, I've then run out of projects to do.
Yeah.
So I'll probably make a chair, and or something. Maybe I need a bit of stick. But the trouble is, when you start looking, you then start looking at things like welding equipment, and welding is, I don't think welding is something where you can just buy the equipment and go, I'll have a go.
No.
I don't think it's as simple as that.
No, it isn't.
So
last time I did welding, I got the rod stuck to the bench well and truly. I couldn't move it.
yeah.
No.
I was gonna do some shed work. I think I've put one of my engines into my workshop along with a few others, and I've got some work to do to it. And I did think about doing it live, but there's no internet there, so I'm gonna have to just do it off the cuff, and show you bits that's happening to it, if I can with my phone and what have you. So
sorry, I got all excited. I saw a result. Yes, I have just seen it. I was going to respond to it a bit later, Adrian. There was a match I saw earlier on, Peterborough versus Ipswich, which being a League Wycombe fan is relevant. So I was just checking up on the result, and I thought, oh, come on, Peterborough, come on, Peterborough, because they've got games in hand over us and could go top. And then I looked, and it said that Ipswich won 6-5 on penalties, and I thought, oh, damn, it's a cup game, doesn't affect the league game, does it? Yeah, Peter Whitlock. If you do welding in a wooden shed, you like to set it on fire. Yeah. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be welding, or if I do, I'll have a nice long extension lead, and I'll do it outside in the garden. But I really don't think I've never needed welding. Most of the stuff I need metal for, I can bend metal and drill holes in it, and that's usually good enough. So
have you seen Colin Furze doing his stuff?
He is mad.
He's actually mad, isn't he?
Yeah.
The riptire he did pretty recently. It was like, I would like to be one of his mates.
If I had the money, I would commission him to do some shed security, but so my printer just made a clunk. I'm going to show you this. I'm very, very worried at the moment because this print I've got has been going for, oops, I've just zoomed in the wrong camera. Right, I don't know if you can see that in the background.
Yeah.
That has been going for 4 days, 70% of the way through. It's a baby Groot, but it's 25 centimeters tall, and been a little bit of catching on the infill, but it's actually been going really, really well. I also now have 3 working printers because I've changed the fans. That printer you see next to the one with the Groot, that was the one that was been broken for about 6 months, and I did 2 very, very nice prints on it last night and today. I can't show you because I don't want someone I don't want to see it, but yeah, it's I've done a very, very nice print on it, and the one on the floor is the one that broke due to the fact that I put the wrong fan in. So I need to test that. I'm going to do that after the show. I'm going to do like a 4 or 5 hour print and check it in the morning. So I think I'm back to 3 printers. I'm going to finish off probably next week the eBay printer that I found, and I found another one on eBay. Have I shown you the new big one I found on eBay?
I don't know that you did.
Let's have a look. So, right, I found this. This looks like a Creality CR10 clone for about 1/3 of the price. That is an... Oh. Why is that not... Oh, there we go. So that, it looks exactly the same as my CR10, except that my CR10 cost 350 quid, and that one's cost 120.
Wow.
Now I don't have the money at the moment to buy that on the basis that it might be no good. But the smaller eBay one that I got, I mean, that's cheaper than an Ender 3. Now I suspect, why is my computer slow? There we go. Right, I suspect it's got cheaper inferior parts to the original CR10, and that's will probably work out of the box, but will need some upgrades to it. Some of which I've already got, so I think I might need to spend another 50 quid on it. But that small eBay one, I found one review on it on YouTube, and it was a load of crap. But the guy made some adjustments, and he got it printing not to a really good, So I think really it was poorly put together rather than it's a bad printer.
Yeah.
So let me.
Right.
You're gonna have to explain that one to me again, Adrian. That message. Right. Quickly. So yeah, I think eBay listing. I'm not the biggest expert on 3D printing. I think it's going to have slightly cheaply made parts, and I think I will replace the hot end and the extruder virtually immediately. The hot end is about 30 quid and the extruder is about 20 quid. You will need a glass plate or a mirrored plate, which I already have 3, because when I bought the CR10, because the larger the bed, the more difficult it is to level it. And with it being made of Chinesium, it's very rarely flat. So what everyone recommended was that you buy mirrored tiles from Dunelm. They're about 12 quid, but they're in packs of 4. So to buy one, you've got to buy 4. So I've got 3 mirrored tiles. So I've already got the replacement bed for it, because I've got the 3 left over from when I bought the CR10. So I think that £120 printer is going to cost 170 quid, which is still very cheap, still about half the price of the CR10. So it might possibly need a new heater. I don't know. So, but I think it's going to go this. I think it's the same as the Ender 3 in that it's good enough out of the box, but you're very quickly going to need upgrades. So not a beginner's printer. You've got to know what you're replacing and what's going wrong. So, but I will get that in the new year, but I just don't have the money right now to go, I'm going to buy this and it might not work. So, you know, I could do that with the other eBay printer. I can live without that. When I've got it, I'll have 4 printers. So, and maybe I am getting to the point where I should be saying, I've got enough printers. Or can you have too many printers?
You could have one in reserve, maybe. Yes, as a
well, right now we're doing tractors for other people. I don't have enough printers. No. And also, like I say, I'm doing this for the reason I'm doing that part challenge. I've never ever done a print more than about a day and a half, 2 days, and I've actually turned the speed up on it, but that should be 6 days. Now I made a little baby Groot about this big for my boss at work, and because it's quite weak because it's made of a wood filament, it's got bits of wood in it, and where people keep picking it up and fiddling with it, both the arms and the head are broken off, and we tried gluing it back together, but it's just broken again. So I said, I'll tell you what, I said, I got some filament I can use. It's a wood colored filament, but it's proper PLA. If we make it a little bit bigger, no, I said the word little. I said, if we make it a little bit bigger with a thicker wall, it'll be a lot tougher. So she went, oh, I love that. And I came home and I just played about, and I thought, how big can I get that on the plate? And I've got it, so it's 24 centimeters tall. So there it is. And I'm out of curiosity, I'm going to measure what it's like at the moment.
Right, quickly. Dave Mill, yes, I did see your post about Lego, but again, it's all about this copper and appeals. If it appeals to a child, then at the end of the day, it's a grey area. So at the moment, I'll be laying off my Lego builds and they'll be put onto my Patreon. So see in the new year, see how things pan out. So
At the moment, that's 18 centimeters tall. So there's another 7 centimeters to go, but it's over the worst bit. I think once it reached the shoulders, because the whole thing's going to come in, do the neck, and then go out again, and it's coped really, really well. But that model is absolutely. In fact, I'm going to take a picture and show you, because when, obviously, as you know, with any model, when you make it smaller, you lose detail. But if you get a small model and make it bigger, it doesn't add detail, does it?
No.
Now, my theory on this, I'll just take the picture and then I'll show you exactly what I mean. Right, it is extremely hard to take a picture of a moving model, but I've come to the conclusion that this is actually a really large model, which has then been reduced. And now, because I've made it bigger, what I've done is I've made it back to its original size.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the, let me bigger screen. There's a load of detail in the arm.
Wow, yeah.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's really, but there's loads of, like, you can see all the veins. Well,
Yeah.
they're twigs or something. But there's such an amazing amount of detail there that I don't recall being there with the original small model. So I think when I finish this, I might actually print another one back at the original size, so I can do a comparison.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing. But it's just coming to the top of the eyes now. And this morning I've been making little jokes about it. When it finished the feet, I sent a picture to her and I said, "Oh, something's afoot." And then when it did the mouth, I took a photo. I said, "Oh, it's getting a bit mouthy now." And then when it did the nose, I said, "Oh, someone's being nosy." And then I thought when it's done the eyes, I'll probably put eye, it's getting there now.
Yeah. Somebody's looking at you.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. That is my biggest print I've ever done. You take care, love minis. Right, so yeah, I did say I didn't want to do a really long show, and I've done 3 hours. I've got to be on a train at 6 o'clock with a welder, some cotton and screwdriver, and I'm sure I've got something else to bring as well. Oh, a PS3 games holder, PS4 games holder. So does anybody else have anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
What's coming next week?
Oh, what's coming next week? Very good question.
Yeah.
So have you got the image? Oh, you've got the image sitting there all the time, haven't you? So next week we're fitting the framework for the windows for the upper deck. So are we doing the same as we did last week then?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah, I assume so, yes.
Oh, I need to put a plea out to somebody. If anyone can help me out. I am missing a bar. I thought I dropped it and I've looked and I can't find it. I'm missing a lower deck grab rail. If anybody has a spare one that can help me out, that would be hugely appreciated. I've counted them, and there's 1, 2, 3 on the 4 on the bottom deck, which are these longer ones, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the upper deck, of which I've got 8. So there's my 8. So if anyone can help me out with a lower one. Oh, hang on. No, I lied. No, I didn't lie. Sorry, I've got... Yeah, I've got, so I'm missing a lower deck one. So if anyone can help me out with a lower deck grab rail, obviously usual rules apply. I'll pay for it, cover your postage, etc. That would be hugely appreciated. I might put a wanted ad out, but if I'm desperate, I will. I'll have to buy a magazine, won't I? Find out which mag it was.
Yeah.
But I'm almost. I made the decision not to install them so they didn't fall out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wishing I did fit them now, because that bus up there has not been touched, except when I've actually taken it down. I put them in a little pot. In fact, I actually dropped this yesterday morning, and I'm not even sure if I've got all my Fiat parts. I've got the wheel cap, hubcap, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I suppose I could make one, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could make one.
Yeah, I got 3D printers sitting there, so I could even make one out of plastic.
Of course you could, yeah.
Or maybe I'll just steal one of Chris's tomorrow when he's not looking. So, would I? Right, so that's all I can think of. Penny, the bars are in pubs, and I have, if I could get a new one. Right, so I'll have a quick look. Oh, sorry. Did you pick up that comment, Fleetwood, from Dave?
Yes.
About the bills are for over 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did sort of say, at the moment, I'll just take Lego builds off my channel and just basically put them on my Patreon when I redo them in the new year.
Oh, if you make a video that that is, you mark it for under 13s, it will still be on your channel, won't it? It just won't come up on notifications. And if you typed in Peppa Pig, it would just come up as no results, wouldn't it? But if you actually went to someone's channel and looked through their list of videos, it would appear there, won't it?
Yeah.
So if we, like when I do those robots, if I actually mark the video as for kids, it just won't come up on the notifications.
Yeah.
And then I will say on my stream, for those of you that may have missed it, I made a video which I uploaded on such and such a day about the robot. However, I did have to mark it as kids, so you may not have got the notification.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know until the system don't come in effect in the new year, does it?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is I'm not eligible for monetization yet because I've not got 1,000 subs. So it won't affect the adverts. But yeah, I suppose. Right. Okay, guys. So I'm going to have to make a move.
Okay.
So thank you to everyone who watched. Looking forward to a good trouble is I'm going to do a latest issue next week, and then the week after I'm going to be falling behind again.
Yeah.
So, but that's how it has to go, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So,
see what happens.
Hello, Christine. Say, how are you? I'll have a word with my my ops manager next week. Say, maybe can I give up some of my holiday and just have every other Wednesday or every fourth Wednesday off? So that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, guys. So I'm going to let you all say goodbye, and I'm going to make a suggestion that we go round clockwise, Adrian, Fleetwood, Dave.
Okay.
So good night, all.
Good night, all, and thank you for joining our show tonight.
Yeah. Good night, and thanks for enjoying it. It was I should be back doing mine in a couple of weeks. There should be more videos on my channel. So until then, I'll probably see you Saturday for the tractor show. So
tractor on Saturday. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
So good night, everybody. Thanks ever so much for joining us tonight. It's been a long stream, 3 hours and 4 minutes and counting. And but we've done a couple of issues and put the world to rights and everything else, as we usually do on Penny's channel. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Okay, so thank you to Adrian for joining us. It's been an absolute treat. Thank you to Fleetwood and for bringing on Sparkles. And thank you for Dave for everything that Dave offers. Too much to mention. But most importantly, thank you to you, the viewers who have been watching. And yeah, the show wouldn't be half of what it was without you. So take care, guys. I will see you for another Routemaster on Wednesday. But in the meantime, I'll see you on Saturday for the tractor build.
Yep.
Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.